Hello and welcome to my kitchen. Today for you I will prepare some beans. I'm very interested in all these new modern TikTok and Instagrammable recipes, but what I think we all lack actually is a good old-fashioned kind of a recipe, like a traditional recipe for just preparing baked beans or other simple food like that. So what I'm going to do now is take the main ingredients for my dish. So we need some beans, we need some peppers. Red pepper is preferred, but a green pepper will also do. Some carrots over here, and of course one of the main ingredients in all of my kitchen adventures is the onion. So I start every dish with some onion. What we need next is a good knife. Sorry, I am very close to the camera. I'm aware of that. I will move back right now. And I need a chopping board. There it is, my chopping board right here. Okay, here's the chopping board. And what I do now, I will put the rubbish bucket over here and peel the onions. Yep, I'm peeling the onions. They need to be peeled well so that we don't have any of the brown parts, or even if there are green layers inside, we don't want those. We only want the white and nice parts of the onions. Next, I peel the carrots. So I will chop the lower and the upper part. For dishes like this, I buy large carrots. I also have a carrot peeler here somewhere. Let me just find it. There it is. Okay, I will use this instead of the knife because these are nice fresh carrots and it's harder for me to peel them with a knife. Okay, there it is. One carrot will definitely be enough. I will leave out this one. And now I'm going to wash the peppers. There we go. The pepper is washed and the top is cut and thrown. So now we have the pepper just like this. I will leave out this one, and this is half a kilo of beans. I will open the bag and I'm going to measure it in this little pot. So I'm going for a quarter of beans for one meal with 4 dishes. So that would be 4 dishes for our family, and just a quarter of kilo of the beans, and this other quarter is for the next time. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I will wash the beans, wash them, put them in warm water and leave them in the water. Okay, so I will just leave them to spend some time in the water, and while they are in the water I will put out my pan Here it is. Just a little regular pan. I will put it here and I will start first with the onions. Cut them in half, then cut each half like less than a centimeter wide semicircles. Okay, they don't need to be perfect because they are going to boil too much anyway, and there will be no trace of the onions once the beans are ready. Okay, there we go. This is half of the onion, and then we get the second half too. Just chop them up, chop, 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 fine and nicely. I'm not a perfectionist. They don't need to be very thin or very tiny or done twice or something like that. As I mentioned, this stew, bean stew, is going to boil for so long that there will be no apparent trace of onions whatsoever. Okay, once the onion is inside, I'm going to add a little sunflower oil. Okay, just a little bit, because before I put the beans into boil, I'm going to stir fry all of these other ingredients. So I will just wash the carrot before I start chopping it, and I will chop nicely in little cubes. So my aim is to get some little cubes out of this carrot. There it is. Okay. I'm not very good at this, but I will make it somehow. Okay. This one goes two. Yeah. The carrot is longer than my knife, and it's very fresh and hard to cut. Big, strong carrot. Sometimes I love to add even more ingredients, like celery root and other types of root, parsley root, things like that. They just add to the aroma of the stew. But this time I will only add some carrots. So now I will just chop them nicely, little cubes. There's a rule for what goes first and what goes next when you stir fry and when you boil things. So first goes the harder parts, or the parts that you want to be blended in. In example, the onion is not a harder part, but I don't want the chops of onion to be visible, so I would prepare them the longest. And the carrot is obviously the hardest part, so if you add them very last, it will be very uncooked. So now I'm just going to put this on for the stir fry and add this little carrot to the onions. And while they're heating up and getting fried, this is my utensil. So while they're getting heated, I will chop down this big, nice green pepper on some slices. Again, the aim is to have some very tiny cubes because I don't like when the skin of the pepper actually shows itself in the meal, because you know the pepper will blend in with the meal, but the skin, if it's chopped in larger slices like this, the skin of the pepper will, you know, float around, and I don't like that very much. So that is why I'm chopping it into such nice and tiny cubes, so that that part of the pepper won't be easy to notice once the meal is boiled. There we go. If you're using beans that are not very fresh, like now it was the season for beans, so this one are like very fresh and their cooking time is very short. But if you're using them like way out of season, like last year's beans, or you're not sure, then you may want to put them in cold water and keep them in water throughout the night. So let them overnight in some water, and that way that will get they will get softer, and all of the ingredients that actually produce the gas in our intestines will come out and dissolve in the water, so you will be less gassy after having this kind of meal. Okay, so here are the peppers. There they are. And now I'm just stir frying. There's a mixture. I'm just stirring it, lowering the temperature so it gets a nice fry. And while it does that, I'm gonna just take these guys out. Check them out just like this. So if there's some little rock or some other a bad seed or something else, I will just be able to act quickly and remove it, and I will just then add them to the frying pan. Okay, all of this is nice. Good. And the last bit. Yeah, all good. Okay, perfect. So now I will just mix the beans together with this. Don't fry them too much. Actually, I'm going to add 5 times more water than there used to be beans. And I'm using hot water, so saving electricity there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I will just leave the 5th pot of water over here to add when required. So if I notice that it's evaporating fast, I will add the whole thing. If not, I may add bit by bit. One of the most important things when you cook beans is to not put salt before the beans are ready, because they will get harder and they will need more hours to boil than if you just add all ingredients salt free, boil them, and then later on add some salt to the pot. Okay, so now I'm just stirring this nicely. You can see how it looks. It got the nice color from all the fried veggies that I fried first. And now I'm putting this on a lower temperature to make sure that it will boil nicely, and I expect this to be ready in hour and a half. No mixing, just adding water and adding salt and some spice in the end. But in any case, after you can pull up some of the beans in half an hour or in an hour and check if they are ready. So if they're soft and ready to eat, then your stew is done. If they're not, then you should leave it to boil a bit more, and we will have like in hour and a half probably the best bean stew you can ever imagine. All fresh, healthy, nice, and with a variety of tastes in it. Thank you for watching. Hope this inspires you for a good lunch or dinner for yourself or for your family and friends. Bye bye. See you soon. And here are the end results after hour and a half of boiling. There's our nice bean stew right here, ready to eat.